Thomas Alex de Ville de la Pailletterie was the son of a French nobleman and a slave of African descent named Marie Cesette Dumas. He was born in 1762 in Saint-Domingue, which is present-day Haiti. His father took the boy with him to France in 1776, had him educated, and helped him enter the French army. By age 31, Thomas Alex rose to command 53,000 troops as General-in-Chief of the French Army of the Alps. He also served as commander of the French cavalry forces on the expedition to Egypt. On the march from Alexandria to Cairo, he clashed verbally with the expedition's commander, Napoleon Bonaparte. Subsequently, he quickly left Egypt on an unsound vessel, which ran aground during a storm off Taranto, Italy, where he was taken prisoner and thrown into a dungeon for 2 years. Having moved back to France after his release, he had a son who became one of the most widely read authors of all time, Alexandre Dumas. Thomas Alex had fallen out with his father and replaced his surname with his mother's, so Alexandre became known as Dumas instead of de Ville de la Pailletterie. Alexandre Dumas was born in 1802 in Picardy, about 80 kilometers northeast of Paris, France. Dumas wrote in a wide variety of genres and published a total of 100,000 pages in his lifetime. His writing earned him a great deal of money, which he spent lavishly on women and sumptuous living. Dumas had a very adventurous life. He joined a Masonic lodge and was a member of the Hashishin Club, a Parisian group dedicated to the exploration of drug-induced experiences, notably with hashish. He traveled to Spain, Germany, Belgium, England, Algeria, Russia, Georgia, and Italy. In 1841, he visited the Tuscan archipelago, a chain of islands in the Tyrrhenian Sea between Corsica and Tuscany. Elba Island is the largest in the archipelago. French Emperor Napoleon was exiled there from May 1814 to February 1815. During this time, he was nominally sovereign of Elba and kept a personal guard of 600 men. Gorigona Island lies about 75 kilometers north of Elba. Its age-old monastery was abandoned after Barbary pirates attacked it repeatedly from the 11th to the 15th centuries. Capraia Island lies about 35 kilometers northwest of Elba. It is renowned for winemaking and anchovy fishery, and was frequented by pirates throughout the Middle Ages. Pianosa Island lies just 15 kilometers south of Elba. French Princess Elisa Bonaparte, a younger sister of Napoleon, owned several castles on the island. Monte Cristo Island lies about 40 kilometers south of Elba. It was known to the Etruscans for its iron ore and to the Greeks for its ochre rocks. The Romans erected an altar to Jupiter on the island's highest mountain. From the 5th to the 16th centuries, the caves of the island became home to several hermits and mystics, including Saint Maximilian. In 1553, Ottoman pirate Dragut expelled the pious man from the island, which turned into a no-man's land, almost exclusively inhabited by seabirds, reptiles, black rats, and wild goats. The Count of Montecristo is Alexandre Dumas' most popular masterpiece. It was a revenge fantasy he wrote on behalf of his father, who was ultimately betrayed by Napoleon. The novel was also inspired by the true story of Pierre Picot, who was engaged to marry a rich woman, but was falsely accused of being a spy by 3 jealous friends. He was sentenced to work as a servant to a rich cleric, who, upon his death, left his fortune to him. Picot then spent years plotting his revenge on the 3 men who were responsible for his initial misfortune. A real-life character included in the novel is Abbot Faria, who introduced Oriental hypnosis to Paris in the late 18th century. He also became a leader of one of the revolutionary battalions, but was arrested in 1797 and sent to the infamous If Castle and locked up in solitary confinement. In the novel, he is a fellow inmate of the protagonist, Edmond Dantès. The story of the Count of Montecristo begins on the day that Napoleon left Elba Island and returned to power in France. Edmond Dantès, who considers himself simply a good French citizen, is caught between conflicted loyalties in the period of the Seventh Coalition, which includes the Waterloo Campaign and the Neapolitan War. Before he can marry his fiancée Mercedes, Edmond is falsely accused of treason by his jealous rivals and imprisoned without trial in the If Castle. Abbot Faria inspires his escape and tells him the location of a treasure on Monte Cristo Island. After breaking free and retrieving gold, diamonds, pearls, and rubies, Edmond first travels to Egypt and then returns to Paris as the rich Count of Montecristo, so he can finally avenge himself on the man who conspired to destroy him. To wrap up this video, here is a drop of wisdom from the horse's mouth. Life is a storm, my friend. You will bask in the sunlight one moment and be shattered on the rocks the next. What makes you a man is what you do when that storm comes. There is neither happiness nor misery in the world. There is only the comparison of one state with another, nothing more. He who has felt the deepest grief is best able to experience supreme happiness. We must have felt what it is to die, so that we may appreciate the enjoyments of living. Live then, and be happy. Never forget that until the day when God shall deign to reveal the future to man, all human wisdom is summed up in these 2 words: wait and hope.